So what was the juicy story that had to wait?
What juicy
I don't know,
story?
you're like or something. And you're about to tell us. And
I
you're like,
forgot.
Oh, I'll wait till the podcast starts.
What?
Go ahead, guys.
You forgot?
I was gonna tell you guys about a few things, so I don't know.
All right, start with one.
Yeah, okay, go ahead.
I got a big ass TV,
Oh, how big is?
49 inches.
That's juicy, I guess. It's cool, but...
Hold on, there might be something else.
It's
I'm
juicy
just going
for
back.
Ian,
I'm
though.
just going. Yeah, that is juicy. I never buy anything for that. And we got a sound bar too, so.
A
Oh, a
soundbar.
soundbar? That's cool.
Yeah,
I always
it's
like
a
those.
subwoofer.
What's a soundbar?
It's like a
big
speaker.
like a skinny speaker,
Yeah,
right?
sounds great.
I don't know if it sounds... Oh, well, you're saying it sounds good.
It does. I'll say.
Does it work anywhere? Is it just TV based?
No, like it's the one we got was Bluetooth, so you can connect anything to it.
It's Bluetooth?
Anything
Yeah,
with
yeah,
Bluetooth.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so even your phone, you could just.
But you can't do direct in.
You can.
You
There's
can?
so there's a HDMI and a component and optical, which I'm using to connect to the TV.
How much are those things?
This one was 125-ish.
Well, your TV has... How are you connecting it to a TV?
Optical cable,
Optical cable.
which is kind of like old. I should probably switch it to HDMI.
Does your TV have Bluetooth?
The TV doesn't have Bluetooth, or at least I haven't found its Bluetooth functionality if it does.
I know some weird stuff has Bluetooth, so yeah.
I know. I love Bluetooth now. It's like I feel so futuristic when I'm
My
in a
coffee
house and I
machine
have
has
like
it.
all these things. What?
My coffee machine has Bluetooth.
Get the fuck out! So
I
you
have
can
an app.
operate.
I have an app for it. Yeah.
What?
I got rid of it though because like I don't need an app for.
Yeah, yeah.
coffee.
It's like you're like it's standing in front of it with your phone.
The coffee maker is right there. You're- Just so you don't have to look away from your phone.
I still have to go and turn it on. You know, it's not.
Oh,
like-
really?
Yeah. I mean, it's.
So
you know,
what does it do? It just starts the brew? Like it
Like
just...
you can. Well, it tells you a few things. Like I guess if you know you gotta like clean out the machine. You know.
You get push notifications.
I can. I can set like alarms so like it'll start making coffee for me at like 9. But it's like the coffee takes like 20 seconds to make. You know?
Yeah.
So it's. It feels like just an added-on tool, just to kind of like, hey, this is
Very-
if you want Bluetooth with your coffee, like
Yeah.
this is it.
Superfluous shit. There's a funny thing. I forget it's called, like, it's a joke on the Internet of Things, which is supposed to be like part of this. It's like the Internet of Crap, and it's like the instances of this where it's like things that just have like this weird excessive functionality that they shouldn't even have.
You know what I thought was ridiculous was I saw a refrigerator with a TV on it, like a TV screen.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, this is stupid because like you go online and like play music through your fridge and stuff like that.
It's weird.
But you could also see through your fridge while it's closed.
Oh, a
and then,
camera.
And then you can draw on it too, so you can like circle something, be like 3 days, like it's been here like X long and
Really?
that kind of stuff.
They
and
have
then
that?
I was like, actually, that's kind of cool.
Yeah.
No.
That's rich people refrigerators.
Damn.
Yeah,
Holy shit. That is pretty
that's
good.
wild. Eh?
That is.
Well, what if you move stuff?
And then yeah,
It refreshes. It's like a render. Like you just see it like coming back. Like
I don't know about that, but I guess you're responsible for keeping track. It's basically like a notebook, you know.
that's cool. That's pretty interesting.
So, well, okay. So, where's this the scandalous part? So, you buy this.
What
thing.
the hell was scandalous? Did I say scandalous? I feel like you guys are just running away with this now. Like I was gonna say something. You said juicy. Now you're saying scandalous. It's like, what's this provocative story? It's awesome.
Like beats you over the head with it or something. I was expecting. So, nothing bad really.
I don't think anything bad
Oh,
happened.
that's
no.
good.
So you've consumed. This is what you want to tell us.
Yes,
Consumed.
that's this is the thing. I was a consumer whore.
Did you buy something else too?
I bought so much shit.
What happened? You got your tax
Tax
refund?
refund. So we bought an entertainment center.
Nice.
That was good to put the TV on because
Oh,
we needed something to accommodate this massive TV, and then we got the sound bar to augment the sound of that awesome TV, and then that's good shit.
How does feel about the TV? Is he freaking out? I was like, what the?
He was pretty excited. He wasn't overwhelmed. I guess
he's seen TV.
yeah,
before.
and the massive TV. Like he's like, now we're like Nana and Pop. Like we got the bigger TV. And he liked it. And with the entertainment center, this was like so cool yesterday. I had him help me put it together.
Oh,
and it's
shit.
like apparently
Oh, nice.
there was plenty of things like, you know, it was all like IKEA furniture shit. And so I was like, at first I made him help me unpack the box, right? And then all the pieces are numbered, like the different parts to put it together. And so I'm like, okay, we're going to like kind of put them in order. We'll put all the ones and the twos together and then look at the hardware. And then I would
nice.
tell him like, here's like, we need 4 of these and they need to go in these holes. Like, what's the big hole? What's the small hole? And they go in the big holes. These go in the small holes.
That's like a classic like father and son moment.
It was great. It was it was really awesome. I was like, you want to use the screwdriver? He's like, no, I'm not ready for it.
Did you buy anything else cool?
Yeah, I mean, I got all this cool shit. I got these lamps for the studio. I guess that's not that cool. You know, they're just really bright lamps, but they're really fucking bright.
They're too bright.
They're a little too bright, but not. I mean, I can use that light. It's just.
You mean the studio like a third floor thing, or the
yeah,
attic?
in my attic where I have the painting stuff. Which all of the painting stuff though, like I did try and take like the money that I made from my painting and use it like on the studio items, you know. So it's like I did actually take that money and spend it on that, which helped the tax return go a little further and all that. It's just money in the end, but so I got that, and I got a projector which I mounted to the ceiling. I built this cool little wooden like clamp thing that goes like around the beam, so I don't have to drill right into the beam. And then I mounted the thing, and now it's like upside down in my studio, facing the canvas. So
that's pretty dope.
Anytime I want to project, I just turn it on, project a drawing, and then start painting on it.
Oh, you got a projector thing.
Yeah.
Nice.
So, but it's pretty basic, and it's a little fucking weird to use it the way I want to use it.
But how do you use it?
I use
What's
it.
the source of the projection?
It's my computer. Okay. So I just have an HDMI cable. Because it's like right above where I sit with my computer at this table in my studio.
Okay.
So I just connect it with HDMI. And then it's like, it's kind of funny because I look and I see the projected image, and the image is way bigger than I need it for like the canvas I'm working on. So I have to like kind of like drag and resize until
Does it retain its quality when it's so big?
You know what's weird? They're not so much, because when I look at the projection, I can see there's like a grid. Like, it's almost like I could see the separation between the pixels.
Oh, okay.
And I'm like, it's almost like you ever look through, like, you know, you have those old grates on a window. What do they call those? The screen on a window.
Oh, yes. Like a mosquito?
It looks like that, like, when I project
okay.
at that scale. Mm-hmm. So that's a little fucked up, but I didn't really pay too much for the projector.
How much was it?
It was $130.
Yeah, it seems pretty low. Maybe that's why.
Yeah, and so I think for the purposes that I'm using it, I feel like it's perfectly fine.
What are the purposes for you?
Just for transferring, like, I take a photograph and then I can trace, like, the edges of the photograph, so I don't have to draw. For painting.
So you don't have to draw the edges?
Yeah, so it's like, usually I'd have a photograph, right?
Right.
And then I would look at the photograph and I would have to draw, like, it. Look at it in proportions, measure, and draw it out before I paint it.
Okay.
There's a lot of ways you can paint, but this way, instead of drawing it, I just project it and trace it.
Oh,
and then
I
that
see.
way, I just have the image ready to be painted.
Okay.
And then I save time on drawing.
I was going to say, okay. So the things you wanted to say that you bought these things, that was the thing.
Yeah,
okay.
I guess so.
No, that's cool though.
You seem disappointed.
Yeah,
I just thought
I just thought it was gonna be something like emotionally fucked up or something.
Maybe I have something good. Hold on.
Yeah,
I'll think of something. We're just getting warmed up, you know. It's like start slow.
Any
No,
marital issues?
It's okay.
Slapping anyone?
Yeah, joking.
But yeah, I was saying like before, like that girl that contacted Jeff. Yeah, like she was. I'm not sorry to put her on this. I won't like say her name, but like I thought she was losing her mind. Like she was saying like crazy shit. Like at first I thought she was just like kind of weird, but then I started noticing it crossing into this insanity. We were like FaceTime over the phone. Like,
how long ago was this?
Like a few months ago.
Okay.
Like 3 months ago, we stopped doing that or so. And oddly enough, pretty much the day of or the day after or so, when like I was pretty much done talking to her, like I started hanging out with. And now that gonna leave to a trip thing, she comes up again out of nowhere. That's so bizarre coincidence.
I wonder how she found me on Instagram.
Yeah.
It's not like.
Oh, because before
friends,
we were friends on Instagram, although I don't even use it, I just added her anyway. Yeah, so she was losing her mind. I thought she was saying things like, fuck, I don't know, like
some crazy shit. Like how? Like what kind of crazy? Like,
yeah, that's sad. That's hard to even remember. It's sad that I don't remember clearly. But she was saying she was having like identity problems, but it was like on insane levels, you know.
Right.
Not on like, oh, I don't know if I want to be a doctor or a lawyer.
She's like, I don't know which version of me I am.
Yeah, like I don't know what I am,
Like,
or like you know,
inside.
yeah.
Well, it sounds like she had some of that going already, right? Didn't she have some like issue? Well, I know like from the like brief time we talked, she said she had like serious issues at home, you know, with like her family.
Her mother has like mental illnesses, like
Yeah.
bipolar or something, and then she was abused like sexually like multiple times.
Yeah,
And
maybe
then
don't put that in the podcast though.
Huh?
Nothing.
but it's not to like it's not to put her down. It's just like she had like a fucked up life.
Yeah, absolutely.
But yeah, then she was basically. It sounded like she was going insane with like her identity questions on like weird levels. You know, like she believed like they were angels and that she would meet her angels when she dies, and she thought maybe if she did drugs she could meet them like on drugs. And
Really?
that part
That's
was
kind of interesting.
the kind of part for me was like, is this like the insanity talking, or is it just like a regular like out there belief that some people may have?
Right.
And you know,
Yeah, it surfs the line between them.
yeah.
It's like maybe she's really like weirdly religious.
Yeah.
Or maybe that's actually true, which would be even more absurd. Like,
I don't know. I don't know about that. But yeah, you're right.
I got good proof.
I was there.
But yeah, so weird stuff like that, and basically to the point that I thought like, you know, you should really get help. You know, like.
Right. You told her.
Yeah, like the last time I talked to her, she looked like she was on the verge of like losing it. Like I would talk to her and she would like wouldn't respond. She would be like, "What? Huh?" And like just like her reactions to the things that I would say like wouldn't match what I was saying. Like you know, when I talk to you, you like instantly respond, or like it makes sense to me that you understood that I'm talking to you.
Right.
She was like way out of it and like not making a lot of sense. I'm like, please get help, and like, please do it tomorrow. She's like, I'm fine, I'll be fine, and I'm like oh yeah, like she would start crying, and then like she would stop, cry like for a little bit, like really intensely, and then stop and be normal, then do it again.
Yeah.
Like really like weird like that, you know, like a weird progression of crying.
I've seen that before.
Yeah, that's like pretty disturbing. Something like that if I remember correctly, and like other disturbing like crazy stuff. I told her like, please get help. You know, it was like genuinely like scary.
Right.
And then she's like, I don't need it. I'm like, come on, yeah. She's like, come on. I'm like, obviously you need it. And she's like, okay, yeah, I do need it. Like she was still like.
Do you think she really meant that when she said it?
I don't know. And she hadn't eaten for like 3 days, and I'm like, oh man.
That would be part of it. Like,
yeah.
I'm sure it didn't help.
Yeah, but I mean,
mental status.
Why? Yeah, that's fucked up.
Yeah, and then like I told her like, go tomorrow. First, I convinced her to get health insurance, and like before she went crazy because I thought she might need it.
Well, looks like it came in handy.
And
right?
actually, like because of me, she got it. Like she went through the trouble and signed up for health
That's
insurance.
good.
So then, like now, like a month later, she started going crazy for real.
Yeah.
I'm like, you have insurance now. You know, go do it. Like I don't know if she did or not.
Right.
And then like after that moment when she seemed like she was really going crazy, I tried to talk to her again.
Right.
And then like she wouldn't answer. And then suddenly now her phone doesn't even work, and like that number doesn't even exist. You know.
And then she contacted Jeff recently.
Yeah, like 2 days ago or 3 days ago.
Yeah,
well,
well,
there you go.
Yeah, but so this was like almost 3 months ago.
Yeah,
a little more maybe.
Right.
And but the thing is, like, I felt so bad for her. Like, what if she actually goes crazy? And she lives like in an office, half apartment, like her father owns.
Okay.
Because he has like an air conditioning business. And like she
Interesting.
lives there with him, her father and her uncle. But a lot of the time they're not there, so she's alone a lot. She doesn't have like a good support group. So she's really like kind of like lonely. And like I'm like, oh man, like what if she kills herself or something crazy, you know?
Yeah,
So like I was trying to like reach her somehow.
Yes.
And then she had mentioned I went to such a great length to reach her. Like I felt so bad for her that she had mentioned that she started going to church, and she started going to church because she was like so desperate that she didn't know like what else to do. So she started going to church, and apparently the church people were. She told me like right before she went crazy, like they were being nice to her and stuff. And I'm like, they're not abusing you or anything, right? And she's like, no, they're good. I'm like, okay. And then like so she had mentioned that, and then when I couldn't get in touch with her anymore, I tried to find that church. She told me it was Cosmic or something like that.
Oh wow, okay.
Something like Egyptian, like very Orthodox Egyptian, I guess, or whatever, or.
Oh, I forgot.
Isn't that what Egyptian is?
I don't know. No. But wait, is she?
She's like half Egyptian, right?
It's like Christian, but like a little more. Like a certain denomination of it.
Okay, I got it. I don't know, like familiar, but I get what you're saying.
I mean, I could be completely wrong about this, but I think it's something like that. Anyway, so I remember she said she went to church. So what I did is I knew more or less where she lived. I don't know her exact address, but I know she lived like near something called the College of the Desert or some crap.
Detective work.
So yeah. So I looked for the College of the Desert in California, and I
should have called.
Yeah, no, I was thinking professional stalker would have been good.
It sounds like you have a good aptitude for stalking as well.
So I look for Cosmic or whatever churches near the College of the Desert, and I find like a few of them, and I remember I think she lived by a park or something, so like it must be this one. So then I call that one, and like a priest gets on with like a strong accent, like, do you know? and like I think she really needs help. You know, she's been going to your church, I think. And he and it was actually him. He knew her.
Shit!
Whoa.
Yeah.
Yo, great work, man. And
He
so
knew-
what? Yeah.
He knew her, and in his broken English, he was like, I'm like, is she okay? She's like, oh yeah, she broke her phone. She's okay, don't worry. I'm like, I know she's not okay. She needs help. And he's like, yeah, she's not okay. And I'm like, and I'm like, can you please help her? I think like she's going crazy, and like I know her life isn't that good, and like I mean you have to help her, and I'm like, go help her, please. That's what I told him. And then he kind of like mumbled, I don't know, and like didn't like agree to help her really.
Right.
And then some priest, no kidding,
Yeah, what the fuck's that priest for? I don't know, like after shtick.
But who knows? Maybe he did. You know, I don't know.
Right.
But maybe he just got caught off guard in like a bizarre. That's a pretty bizarre call.
It is. Yeah. It's like,
He's a priest. He should be used to that kind of shit.
Yeah, that's
If
true
God,
though. That's
if
true.
God reaches out to you, should you freak out? It's like, oh shit, or should you be like, all right, this is what God does?
That is.
Because I'm a priest.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah. That is supposed to be like a safe haven, you know?
Yeah.
It's like sanctuary, all
But-
that shit.
So then he's like, call her if you want to know updates. Call her father. And I'm like, his father. I don't want to talk to her. Her father's like a really strict, like a old school conservative.
Yeah,
like,
and then it's like
Christian guy.
you're like 29 years old, and you're like, hey, you know. When you were telling me about it, that's what I was originally going to suggest. It was like, oh, did you contact her father or her uncle? But it's like, you don't really know. It's like how they're going to react.
Exactly.
You know, what their history has been. Like, if they're going to react in an actual way that's going to be helpful if you contact them, and then how that's going to make her feel.
Yeah, so he gave me his number, and I got his number. And then I'm like, okay, thank you. And I actually did try to contact the father.
Wow.
I texted him, and I told him, I think really needs help. Like, please help her. And like let me know how she's doing. Like, I'm an old friend of hers. And then like I gave him I texted him obviously for my number.
Friend.
I gave him like my number again. I'm like just let me know. And like I saw that he read it,
Oh.
but he didn't respond. And then a couple weeks later, I'm like, please, like tell me she's okay. And like I'm like, please just say she's okay. And then get back to me. And that's all I need to know. He just ignored me. I'm like,
Wow.
you piece of shit. You can't just tell me she's okay.
Wow.
Wait, this is through what?
And
Text.
you could
Okay.
see that the text has been read.
The first one he definitely read it. The second one I don't know if he read it.
Wow.
He may have done that thing when you read it, but you don't open it so people don't know that you read it.
Sneaky. That's crazy.
So yeah, so I felt bad. Like I'm like, I did like, and then I ended up hanging out with my therapist friend, and I'm like, I told him the whole story, and I'm like, I feel so bad. He's like, you did all that you could do.
And you did the right thing, he said, right?
He didn't say that. Like he didn't deny that. He didn't mention anything about that. But yeah, I felt
Right.
like I considered going there. I'm like, what if I go there? I'm like, well,
That's crazy. But I think
Yeah.
you definitely did, like, your part, you know? I mean, that's so crazy. It's like, yeah, you got to write a book of these Tinder stories, man. Because, like, they're
The
getting...
Tinder Chronicles.
It's getting crazy. It's like, dude, think about that. It's like... You're probably like the most supportive person like she's had in her life, like
Probably.
ever, you know, and that's probably why she reached out to you because she's like, oh, this guy, like I trusted him, and he seemed to like try and steer me in the right direction.
Mine is a yeah. Let's keep going with that train of thought.
All right,
But yeah, I did nothing evil. But yeah, I try to be good. I went like I obsessed over because I felt so bad for it. Yeah, I thought of going there, but I think at that point I was like, yeah, that's crazy. Like
Yeah.
you said, like no way. But like I did as much as I could. But now I'm glad that she's alive, and apparently she was able to send a message. So maybe I assume she's sane now.
It seemed pretty coherent, you know.
Yeah. So I'm
Okay.
thinking like
Maybe-
maybe she got put away. Maybe she was like in a mental institution for a
which
while.
happened to her before, didn't it?
Yeah, because on mushrooms she went insane, but
Yeah,
that was on
yeah.
drugs.
Yeah,
But-
but you
We've
know,
all gone crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then she.
yeah, I can't.
But like, I mean, then again, there might be a connection there where like, if you're already fucked up in the head and you take that, then
Yeah.
you know.
And then you're gonna have issues.
So like, so yeah, I don't know. But yeah, she believed in like weird shit too. Like I don't
Right.
know. But it was like I felt like I would see her over FaceTiming, and I would see that she was alone at her house, and like she didn't make any money, and she couldn't like find a job. Although her parents paid for her like rent and stuff,
Mhm.
but she didn't have like spending money, or she had like $2,000 saved up or something.
Okay.
But it's not too bad. But yeah, like she didn't have like an income, and like I saw her like through the photo, and I would see like she was alone at home, and like she's so young, and she's been like abused. And I felt like so bad for her. Like it broke my heart, you know. And I'm like, oh man. But I'm like, I know that, but she would say she was okay, you know. But
Right.
I'm like, oh, that's so sad.
Man, I say I'm okay though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm like that's so. I'm like like that's so depressing, and I'm like, oh man, that's why like I felt so bad for her. Like on top of that, she's going insane. And I'm like, oh man, yeah. But I'm glad she's saying that. But yeah, like fast forward 3 months, she contacts Jeff, asking about me.
Via
And
Instagram.
yeah, and then I tell Jeff, can you please tell her that I'm seeing somebody right now, so I don't think it's appropriate to see her. But talk to her. I'm seeing someone right now, so I don't think it's appropriate to talk to her. So and I hope she's okay. And like Jeff told her that, and like that was it, I guess. But I feel like I shouldn't talk to her, right?
I mean, like, you went through a lot of trouble to try to talk to her, and now it's like to hear like this whole voyage for like that one thing, and now like the thing comes to you, like nah, you know. Not necessarily that it's the wrong thing. It's just funny.
But,
Yeah.
but don't you think it's wrong to me to talk to her? Because it's gonna like lead down me getting overly involved and all that, probably,
Yeah.
Probably, yeah. Fuck that shit.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
But do you think it's wrong for me to talk to her?
I don't think it's wrong for you to talk to her. You know, I think just for the closure's sake of it, you know. And then it's like, but you're right though. It might absolutely like lead to that, you know, where it's like you're gonna keep getting pulled back into the cycle of
Yeah.
abnormality and whatever's going on.
You can get a Google Voice number and call her through that, and then be like, in case Sarah calls you, it's it's not a real number.
Yeah, but then like then like I'll have the feeling of like maybe she'll be like, oh, I need this or something, or I need the help with this. Then I'm gonna feel even more bad, you know.
Yeah.
I get what you're
Yeah.
saying. Yeah, no, that's really
I'm
risky.
too like empathetic towards that.
It's like quicksand.
No, but it's true.
Like if like I don't know, she was nice, and like I don't know. I think ultimately like being with her is like ridiculous. You know, it would never work, and it just isn't like right. You know, but there's like some like I don't know, like when people suffer in that way, and like then I get to know them, like it makes me like it's hard to like not help them.
Right,
Yeah.
because of course you have all of this like empathy, you know, and you
Yeah.
relate to like these people that have suffered.
Yeah, so it's just like I don't want to get involved, and then what happens, you know? So it's
Yeah.
just like, but I feel bad for her at the same time too. But you don't think it's wrong to talk? I kind of want to get more closure. Not that you mentioned that too, but like I don't know.
No, I feel like my initial response was kind of like what Jeff was saying. It's like you kind of like after all of that like effort, then you kind of just turn around. But then a lot has changed in 3 months for you too.
Yeah. So do you think it's unethical or wrong if I'm seeing that if I talk to, is that like wronging that?
I feel like it gets like murky. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
of course.
It's just this murky area of like decision and consequence.
So yeah, so basically it's wrong.
Yeah.
Wait, what's wrong though? What do you
To
mean?
talk to her while I'm talking to.
But is it really? I don't know. Here was what I was gonna say, but now I know your relationship with is kind of ambiguous too. So I was gonna say it's like what you could do is
Nobody
you could
loves
just,
me properly.
you can no, but listen, you could discuss it with and be like, look, explain to her. I used to, have this kind of hookup with this girl, and then et cetera, lay it out for her, explain it in the progression that you did, and just be like, what do you think? Is it like, would it be, should I talk to her or should I not? And just gauge her response from it.
That might be like weird too, like bringing all that up.
I actually did that already.
Oh, you did? Well, I'm happy to hear you did that.
I didn't give her the whole story, because the long story that I gave you guys.
It's a good story.
Yeah, I probably will tell her.
But yeah, maybe, I don't know, is she jealous? Or?
Yeah, but like I told her like right away. I told her like, oh, this girl contacted me, and I'm like, I didn't like she knew a few details from her from
Right.
that I mentioned here and there.
Mm-hmm.
And then I told her like, but I'm not gonna talk to her because I think I'm seeing you now, and anyway we're not right for each other anyway. For like we're talking about the girl.
I feel like that's not really the important point, though.
Yeah, but yeah. But what is the important point? Like to try
It's
to help her? You
because,
mean?
like,
Because she needs help.
Yeah,
Yeah,
should
she's
is
not
it your responsibility to ensure that she gets help after you've done like what you've done already? And then if you tried to help her, if you made an attempt to help her, is it too potentially hazardous for you to continue to do that? For your relationships, yeah, and
Right.
your personal life.
Yeah, I guess like we didn't get that deep into it. I just kind of like, I'm like, oh, don't worry, I'm not gonna talk to her, you know.
Okay.
And then the next day she was like, "Does you talk to her?"
Oh.
All right. Well, I guess I don't know what I'm talking about here.
And then she asked me if I talked to her. I'm like, no, I didn't talk to her. I told to tell her, please. I feel like it's not
Don't
appropriate.
talk to me
She's
about
like,
son ever again.
she's like, what? didn't seem like too concerned with it. Like she brought it up one more time, but like it wasn't. I didn't even like. She didn't seem angry or that or anything.
That's interesting.
And that was kind of like the end of it though. But she did it like ask again.
That's pretty crazy.
Yeah. Why is that crazy?
Just because you're at like this completely different like, I don't know, stage in your relationship with this girl.
This ambiguous stage.
Yeah, it's interesting to
Yeah.
me, you know, because it's like you haven't had a lot of like serious like committed relationships
No.
in contrast to like your serious like uncommitted relationships
Yeah.
that you've had. So I feel like you have like this weird kind of
Illness.
romantic / sex / intimate life, you know. This is like a weird thing that it's sort of atypical, but now it's like, I don't know, it's like watching a simulation progress here.
I feel like you guys are in a relationship, but you both don't want to pretend like you're in a relationship. So you both say it's not like really a relationship.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's a relationship.
That even confused me.
You're trying to like out lawyer. It's like, well, it's not technically a relationship because Article B / blah blah blah. So
Remember you told me about that LLC business where it's like
Oh, yeah.
you can create the license and then have it like under the LLC. It's like that's what you guys are doing. You're like putting it like one step out.
No, the LLC is yours, and then you create a name to like cover the LLC.
Okay,
Yeah.
thank you.
What were you gonna? Or I guess we can still talk about this crazy girl though. But
Henceforth referred to as the crazy girl.
Don't
Kane's
call her
a real
crazy girl.
name.
No, I'm kidding. You can call it. She would be okay. Crazy girl number 1 on sure. To make a note.
there's a lot of them.
Because saying people's real name is not right.
You know those?
Yeah,
two-
I was gonna mention that as like a ground rule. We should probably avoid like names.
For the or maybe or change their names. You know.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was thinking about that, but that might get tricky
Yeah.
because it's like,
We
oh,
really
Karen, who is Karen again? You know, Karen.
Well, we can use.
we can write it down.
We
Oh,
don't,
yeah,
we don't
probably.
have to use like actual names like Bob and Steve and shit. We
Yeah.
can like for example, Mr. Poland.
What?
You know? Alright, that's not gonna work.
Yeah.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Yeah? Like the capital of Poland? What's the capital of Poland? Is it Warsaw?
It might be.
I don't know. Wait, what does that have to do with anything?
Yeah, I was about to ask
Oh, the
that.
mythical Greek god like person, you know what I mean? Greek
Uh,
god man.
Like one of the Greek gods.
Oh,
The main, you know, it's like
got
how
it,
to-
got it.
It's like
Oh, okay.
Now I get it.
like, we can
Alright.
use. I don't want to say his name because now we'll like kind of subvert it. But if we use like names that are in,
Okay.
like if we call that guy, if we call him Apollo, it's like you know who Apollo is.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Or we could, yeah. I mean, that's not a bad idea. Or we could have give him like different. Because I feel like if we say like girl 1 or girl 2, it makes the conversation weird.
Yeah, and
It'll
that's
make it more
so impersonal.
It'll make it more natural to be like, oh, you know, Jessica, you know how Jessica is such a bitch, blah blah blah. You know.
Yeah, it's not.
Wait,
your
we know
Jess.
Jessica.
Yeah, it's not my bad. Yeah, Jennifer. Nobody knows a Jennifer, right?
It might be.
I mean,
I'm
we
good.
might.
I'm good. I don't know Jennifer.
Wait, who's Jennifer now in this case?
I think he's
Crazy
just
girl?
seeing if Jennifer is. Or wait, are you just checking the availability of
Yeah.
Jennifer? Are you actually assigning Jennifer at this point?
We'll see. I guess.
All right. Well, you
We
got. I
have
guess
an,
use Jennifer whenever you need her.
We could call her Cali girl because she's in Cali, right?
Yeah.
All right. There you go.
But even that is a little dangerous.
All
How's
right.
that? You got more girls.
Yeah,
California.
Well, it's gonna be a full-time job for you to like look up nicknames for all the.
We should use an anagram server. Rearrange our names.
We might have to write it down. I think it's
Oh,
pretty,
man.
right? Pretty. It's only gonna be like 10 people or something. Yeah, then eventually we'll just know it by nature. Or no, is that crazy?
Well, yes, I guess we'll see how it goes.
Because we're gonna talk about the same people a lot, probably.
Yeah, in general. In general.
Okay, so yeah, so we'll call this lady that we're talking about that may have lost her mind and come back to reality. Yeah, let's call her Jennifer.
All right, that sounds good. She could be
Okay.
Jennifer.
What about Angel?
No, she's. I don't care. Just tell me, Jennifer. Right?
Jennifer,
Yeah.
Jennifer.
Alright,
So yeah, so yeah, since I am in murky waters, with which I don't like either, I'm like,
It's a real name.
Yeah, you're gonna use.
oh crap.
Yeah.
We're gonna cut this part out. I'll put like a bleep.
Yeah. If you can bleep this, it'd be good so people can.
What is she gonna become?
Okay. Oh yeah. So this lady that I'm ambiguous with.
Not your girlfriend. Schmacy.
Oh, I get it. I was just say call her Coltrane.
What?
Oh,
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay.
That's
That you guys are reaching with the references. That's cool though.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry.
I think Coltrane's fun.
No, I like it. It's good. I mean, just saying, like it made me like it makes you think because I'm like, whoa, that was like a deep one.
Yeah.
And it'll be funny when you hear talking about like choking Coltrane.
It's the name of a man.
I
So.
was hitting Coltrane from behind.
It's actually a last name though.
Yeah, it makes it funnier. Don't worry about it. Coltrane is alright with it.
It's like, don't I get any say in this?
Unfortunately, no.
How about Maria?
Okay.
This one will be Maria.
All right.
Okay.
That's fine.
So Jennifer and Maria. Yeah. So this
Maria Coltrane.
We know who Coltrane is.
But yeah, so Maria, like, since it's ambiguous, like, that annoys me because I feel like last time I asked her about it, she's like giving me like a non-answer, you know? So I'm like, let's just call each other boyfriend and girlfriend, and if it doesn't work out, who cares? I feel like that label doesn't matter that much.
Right.
Why do,
It's
you
just
wanna,
like,
why do you want to apply that label then?
that's a good question. I was about to be like, well, then why do I want to apply it? I think just for convenience sake, it's just like, this is my, are you dating? Just like, yeah.
True. I get what you're saying. It just kind of like
It's just like,
compresses everything.
yeah, I feel like even if we're boyfriend and girlfriend, doesn't mean it's going to work out. Like, it probably won't work out ultimately, you know? Even if we were married, it probably wouldn't work out.
Don't tell her about this podcast. It's definitely not going to work out. I'm just using it.
No, I'm not. I'm not using.
I know. I'm just
I
making
know,
the
I
joke
know.
for the podcast.
I know. That was a good one. But yeah, I'm not using her. Or in any evil way. I think like we're using each other, but using is a strong word, you know.
Yeah, I get it. No, it seems healthy. What
Using
you
it
guys
is a
are
very like mechanical, physical word, you know. It's
Yeah.
like there's more to it than that.
It's squishier than that.
Yeah. I like that. It's squishier than that. That could be a good slogan for something.
It's like, play grids.
What's your wife called? We just call her wife.
I was thinking about
Yeah.
that. I call my wife. Yeah, I'm the only one married, so my wife will be fine.
Yeah, then she could
That's
be
hot.
your wife.
See, look at that. You see how good those titles work?
No,
Why do you think?
It's too
Because
impersonal.
then it's always going to create the connection. So
no, it's too impersonal. Because it's
my wife.
Yeah, because
Doesn't feel impersonal to me. That's pretty. Because some of us take our titles seriously, guys.
No, you could. It's fine to use it, but you should have a name too. Because if I'm
My
talking about
beautiful wife.
if I'm talking about it, like did you go with your wife? I guess that sort of work, but sometimes it'd be like wife always says. I don't know, like calling her by her title is weird. Like the engineer, like if was engineer, the engineer always says it. Like I don't know.
Does she play the flute?
She does, yeah. So.
Well, you know what I mean. Though?
Man, call her Herbie, man.
I was thinking Ian Anderson.
But yeah,
Can't call her
like,
flute girl.
well, then you know what I mean. Shouldn't she have a name? Or no? You don't think so?
I'll think something.
Do you think so or no?
I don't know. I'm cool with nicknames and like
The wife?
If somebody's called Table, like I'd be okay with that. You know.
What about, you're okay with it too?
What?
Calling her just wife?
Yeah, I am. That's
Okay.
convenient.
Okay, let's do that. Let's try it then.
Yeah.
You could always rechristen her later.
Yeah.
That's right. If something comes up,
Like
just
you
drop it
said
in.
with the relationship, just
Yeah.
like just something to have for
Yeah.
now. you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, but so yeah, I don't know. Like,
Okay.
what do you guys think about that? Like, if I feel like we're like dating or something for like 3 months, so if that's long enough, I feel like isn't that long enough to just call each other that? Or no?
See,
right?
I
Yeah,
was
right?
with.
With who?
Oh yeah. There
Oh.
you go.
No, I have a problem.
All right.
It's funny how the conversation was getting interrupted.
That's all right. It's just groundwork.
Yeah,
Get it out of the way.
There's only a few names left.
That's
you know.
right.
It's funny though.
It won't
Like,
take us too long.
yeah, it's funny. It's a good segment.
Let's see.
Getting interrupted by making up a name for someone.
Moesha.
Boisha?
Moesha. Yeah.
All right then.
Okay.
When I was with Moesha,
Okay.
it took us, let's see, how long? Because they were like hooking up and like not dating for like, I felt like 3 or 4 months before she decided that like the title was to be like,
Oh, really?
enforced. And,
right.
which like set off.
Inaugurated.
It was like a whole new set of rules that happened
Oh,
after
really?
that. Though. Yeah.
Like
There
what?
came consequences to that title.
Like
You know,
what?
you don't just become CEO and there's no responsibilities on you. Well, it's hard to say, but it's like more boyfriendy, and like there's all this weird stuff that I thought was like just part of the relationship that apparently was like now because of this new title, there was like I have to follow like these other procedures. Like, oh, it's like you're not gonna be like that, and it's like that's what like we do when we're in a relationship that goes this deep, you know.
What was one thing that was like that?
I don't know. I guess I had to be nicer. There was like, it was like she got mad at me more often, you know, because now it's like certain expectations. That's the thing. It's like there were certain expectations from her, and I guess that a boyfriend would deliver. Where me, it was like, all right, like we've been doing this thing, and this is how we interact. So this is our interaction. I'm okay with that. But now it's like a whole new higher level like thing implemented. Yeah. But she didn't tell me my new job duties. I thought it was the same job, but it was just a pay rise, you know.
Yeah. That's
I
what
was
you
like,
thought.
all right, consequence free sex. I thought that's all it was.
Excellent.
You know. But I guess not. So be careful with the enforcement of titles.
Yeah.
That's all I'll say.
Yeah.
That's a good point. But oh yeah, so she never told you that. Did you feel that? That's an interesting topic. Did you feel that your wife changed when you married her?
No, it didn't. I don't know. I think it's like it's been a long developmental process, like over the years we've been married now, and it's like I think there's been a lot of like personal transformation that's been pretty dramatic, and so it's hard to like see if there was like a clear distinction at that point.
Oh, okay.
It doesn't feel like there was. It seemed like the kind of behaviors and routines that we were operating with like kind of proceeded like through that, and then in time, I think maybe she did change, but I was just so oblivious and like insensitive that I just like didn't recognize. But then like slowly I kind of realized like, oh, this is like a categorically different thing than just dating, you know. And it's like it took me a long time to even begin to internalize that and realize that and accept that. And it seemed like my wife was kind of ahead of the curve. I think she was definitely like more like she was more in touch with like the marital mindset than I was, which
Right.
seems like it's probably common because I feel like, you know, when you get married, it's like you do have to kind of settle down and separate from a period of your life where you were more impulsive, immature, and you didn't have the same responsibilities, you know?
Yeah.
And so it's like, there is, I feel like, a reality about after you get married, it's like making a commitment to family, you know? And that's like the truth. You can't just like pretend like you're not married if you're married.
Yeah.
I mean,
That's
you can, but it's going to make your family life miserable, you know? It's going to make your family unhappy. So that took me a while to understand, though. I thought like I could just get away with doing anything I wanted for a long time.
Yeah, I don't like the idea of being. That's a little bit of like a hint that I get with people with a few very, very, very few people that I've been with for like a few months. Like there's like hints of like duty, you know. Obviously, you guys have experienced it more, I think, because you've been with people longer.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, like I don't like that idea in a way.
Yeah, it's lame.
It's like I have to help you, and I have to like. I feel like it's a job. And yeah, like I have to like perform like an elaborate task like happily for you because that's what I should want to do. But like maybe I'm just lazy. It's not that I don't like you, you know, or something, you know. And maybe
Right.
like right now I just don't feel like giving you this like high level thing or whatever, you know.
Right.
I feel like it would kill now that I'm thinking back to my times with Moesha. I feel like
Days of Moesha.
I feel like it killed like part of me. It's like because I had like our separation in space, and then when that happened, like she like chose herself to be a priority in my life. You know what I mean? Like everything else was not as important as when it came to like anything that involved her. So it's like, you know, you need a like immediate response kind of, not immediate response, but it's like
Yeah.
I couldn't just like not like text her back or something, you know, or,
Yeah.
like respond to her, or like I couldn't ignore her, or I couldn't just like, all right, I'm gonna go out with the boys or whatever, or the boy, you know, because I was just smoking weed with John all the time. I'll just say John's name. There's like 1,000 Johns.
I don't even know which one you're talking about.
Yeah, exactly.
We don't know.
Hoyt Street.
All right.
But you know, like stuff like that. It was like I felt like I was no longer myself. I was like a conglomerate, like a fucking hodgepodge of like two people now. It's like
Oh, you didn't like that, or you did?
No, I kind of wanted to retain like more of my independence. You know.
Yeah.
I didn't realize how much like of myself I lost until like we broke up, and I had like all this kind of like free time. I was like, oh, okay. I was like, I gotta get down with this, you know. But there was like it's like not that I didn't mind hanging out with her and like being with her. But it's
Right.
like I also want to be by myself, you know. And it's like
Yeah.
I also want somebody that wants to also be by themselves at the time. Like I want to be able to like, you know, we both need our me time.
Yeah, I wonder I wonder if that's just a sign of like you're with the wrong person, or with everybody you have to not be so dutiful, you know?
But I feel like that way with everyone. It's like, no offense to you guys. I think we went over this already. It's like,
Yeah.
we
There's
wouldn't
some
want
of
to
that.
be with each other all the time. You know?
Yeah.
I think like what you said before was like a really good way of putting it. You were making the joke about you being promoted, and you were like, yeah, but she didn't tell me what the new like job description was. And I feel like that's like the key. Like that's where people kind of miss the mark. Is like there are so many like unspoken expectations between like people who come together in a relationship, and it's like there's a decision made. It's like, let's join together in this relationship, but like the title is assigned, but the parameters are never defined, you know?
Yeah.
And then it's like, okay, well, what's appropriate for like this relationship? And obviously there's like, you have like social cues and like, you know, tradition and culture backing you up, but like as it comes down to the person to person level, it's like things need to get negotiated out and be like, okay, well, what do I need from you and what do you need from me?
Yeah, that talk would have been good to have in the beginning.
It would have been, yeah, for everybody.
It's hard for
And-
people to say those things.
And it's hard to stick to them too because we're impulsive and we live our lives like by like not all of us but many of us, and oftentimes it's like we live by like more emotional impulse than any like rationalized like coolly calmly directed thing.
That makes me think that, you know, when you're with somebody, kind of like you're saying, and they weigh so heavily on you, and I feel like that does happen. That like you do lose yourself. Because honestly, I feel like, you know, like I want to like say this, but it's like too harsh. But like I would say it to you, you know,
Right.
like as a joke or something. But then like little by little, it like dulls like my edges that like don't fit into her holes.
Right.
It's not to be perverted, but you know what I mean.
It's like edges and holes now.
You know what I mean? And I feel like I have to like train myself to like make myself into like a digestible for I have to like make a pill of myself for each person. Does that make sense? So
That's a cool way of describing
so
it.
they can digest me in a way. Like I have like based on who you are, I kind of have to like pander to you a little bit.
I feel like everyone does
That's
that.
that's relationship. That's a
just like-
social interaction. We always do that. That's
No,
always social.
Yeah, but I think like to some, not that like I agree that it's not like all bad, but I'm saying I feel like in the moment that I have to do it when I feel like I'm compromising something that I shouldn't be compromising.
Right.
I feel like when I'm with a girl, like I think I'm a lot more likely to compromise it, you know?
Why?
Because like I don't know, because
You're trying to get sex.
not just that, but that's part of it.
It is part of it.
But like also because like yeah,
Well,
like,
like,
it's like the nice moments are so nice, you know?
Right.
And
And then
you're also trying to keep like this perfect thing going too, so you don't want to like ruin it by being yourself. You know?
Yeah, yeah, exactly. But you know what I mean? You've done that, right?
of course, all the time.
Yeah.
But I feel like your reasoning is not like.
But go ahead, like
I feel like you're missing the real point of it.
what's the real point
It's
of it?
because you know that like saying those things would make her unhappy,
Yes.
and so you're preventing her from being unhappy.
But it makes me happy to say those things.
Yeah.
Not
Right.
preventing my own happiness.
Exactly.
Well,
So who's more important? Me or the other?
neither. It's the relationship that's more important.
That's why I said fuck the relationship.
Well, then, yeah, I guess if that is your final like decision, if that's your final judgment on the relationship, then so be it.
But you
know?
make a good point, but because then you do what's best for the relationship, but like what like even in the act of doing that, you can still like lose yourself a little bit, you know.
Of course.
But
But,
the-
look, I'm sorry to cut you off.
But then it's like then it gets in the like then it's like I lost myself, but maybe like I should have lost that, you know.
yeah,
But maybe not, and like it's hard to know, you know.
it is hard to know, and it's like that is society though. Like, it's not just in your intimate relationships.
Yeah, it's everywhere. Yeah.
It's like society always is crushing you, you know? But like it's playing grids with you. But like playing grids, it also gives you a grid where you need one.
yeah.
So it's like, yes, I'm taking you and I'm smashing you against the grid here, but if I take that grid away, like, where are you? You know? So maybe I just have to be a little rough with you so you can continue to even exist.
Yeah. That's in a sense like I mourn like my older self, you know. but it's not like practical,
It is practical. It's the most practical thing.
to mourn your older self.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you were talking about like getting like abducted by the grid.
Oh no, that is practical. Yeah.
No,
But I don't-
mourning your older self. You mean your past self?
Yeah, I'm not as much anymore, but at times I'd be like, oh man, like I could never act how I used to act,
Right. Yeah. I've had that person die as well, and it was a long and painful procedure of death there.
Yeah, it's like a version of me like died in a way, and like I was really upset for a long time. Now it's like a distant memory, and it's like it's kind of like if somebody you care about dies. At first it's like really bad, and then it's just like it's always bad, but like not as bad,
Yeah. That's true. I think also in relationships, see, there's a good thing because you can kind of like stifle parts of yourself, but to kind of like better connect with the other person, then there's like a greater thing that could come out of it.
Yes, that's kind of what you're saying.
Yeah.
But it's like in certain relationships, it might seem that way, but you're kind of being fooled by like hormones and like other stuff too. Whereas like,
Oh yes.
if it's like I have a relationship with you, like, I don't want to make everything about sex, but it's like if we're not like having like this weird other thing that kind of like fool you. Listen to that like predictably irrational book, right?
Yeah.
Or like our decision making and all that shit is impaired like so wildly like when under arousal and stuff. So it's like, okay, we take that out of the equation. It's like, if I'm not digging something with you, it's like, I'll be more likely to be upfront about it or like cut you off or like nip it at the bud.
If you're in that what?
If I'm not like fucking. I mean,
Oh.
wait, can we use our real names?
I don't know. Maybe.
No, we were just fixing
Yeah.
it. Okay. For now, just say him so you can don't lose your train of thought.
Okay. But
So if you're fucking him.
yeah. So if I'm fucking them, it puts on like all this extra stuff that kind of like glosses over a lot of issues.
Yes.
So it's like in a
Yes.
relationship with like somebody on that level.
That's a
like,
great point.
There's a lot of like extra stuff that kind of like blinds you to
The
like
pussy just blinds your view.
yeah, and like
Gets in your eyes.
and vice versa. Like the dick blinds you too. The dick's gleaming in the light and blinding you from your surroundings.
Yes,
but-
exactly.
So we're both like kind of like fucking each other over, and we both like see like this kind of obscured image of ourselves, and we're trying to like
exactly.
get up in there.
Exactly.
And it's like when you take off the veil and you look at the sculpture, like this hideous kind of beast, and you're like, ah, put the veil back.
Exactly.
So that's why I feel it's tougher with like intimate relationships, like on that level,
Yes,
as
right.
opposed to like
Sex does change things. Yeah.
either business relationships or like regular friendship relationships, and casual like
Yeah.
social culture interactions on the street.
Of course.
And, it's easier to get the mutations.
But I think the important thing is to recognize that there's like a qualitative difference between those different relationships and that they need to be addressed like in their own way. There's not like one formula. It's like that's going to satisfy the needs of all those people, like in all those different contexts. And that like proportional to the depth of the relationship is the emotional investment and the time like element that needs to go into it,
Yeah. So what do you think I should do with Maria? Should I demand a label, or should I just be like, just like let it play itself out?
I don't know. It's hard for me to say.
I like the play itself out thing, only because I've been fantasizing about this like imaginary hippie girlfriend that I have that will kind of just like let me alone, and I her, and we kind of just like hang out, and like it'll be great because we won't care about each other. No, but not really. But I don't know. Maybe like forcing a label, I don't think is gonna help. I think it's one of those things that just has to like happen, and I don't know. I think this is more like her issue than yours.
Yeah.
I feel.
What do you think?
I'm stumped, because I don't know what's like how you guys feel about each other,
Yeah.
So it's like I don't know.
So honestly, I think like, I don't know. Like on some level, I feel this about everyone. Like deep down, like I know it's wrong, but like I'm like, what is it? Like? But I feel that way with like I've never not felt that, So I'm like, is that just like something that's wrong with me, or I'm like, or is it like really is the truth? Like it's hard to tell,
It can't be. Well, I mean, it could be the truth, right?
Yeah.
But you don't know.
Yeah.
I feel like so you're kind of guessing,
Yeah. But it feels like no. I know.
or
But
you
I
have a really amazing intuition, and you are you're like have a genius like intuition for this capacity,
Yeah, or maybe it could be wrong.
or you're just like
Dude.
taking that stance, you know.
Yeah.
The way you feel with her now, is that the same way you felt like on the same level as like all the other girls though? Or it's like a different like,
this
resonance,
one.
you know?
This one I like more because I guess like we bonded over time.
And you have, and real shit. You've had like a really great relationship, and it sounds like it's been a really healthy one too, where it's just
It's mostly been good, yeah. She's like I don't know. Someone's saying I'm fragile, but like women's fragility is obviously so much higher than a man's. You know, like they're just so much more fragile in a way, in some specific way, and I think that's really nice in a way. I like that, you know. But then like sometimes like I'll say something stupid and like I'm like she'll get like really sad and I'm like, wow, like you're so sensitive, you know. And I'm like,
Sorry.
It's just like it's just like I thought I'm sensitive at times, but then that's like so sensitive. So it's just like it's weird. But I guess I mean in rare moments I can be like so sensitive too.
Yeah, I guess everybody has their little like issues.
But you know what I mean? Like,
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know how good of a comparison this is once, but you know how like girls like will cry over nothing?
Yeah.
Not over nothing,
Yeah.
you know. But we're just being, you know, generalization. This
It's
is
like Titanic like movies.
yeah, it's like I heard they cry like, or I heard this comparison. I heard they cry like how we get like boners.
Oh
Like,
yeah.
you know how I get like
Interesting.
random boners, and it's like you can't really help it. It's like the crying is like that. Like they can't really help it. It's just like this emotion. It's like, why are you crying? They're like, I don't know why I'm crying. You ever get that answer? I know I have.
I definitely heard of that, yeah. But yeah, they're definitely more prone to crying. But yeah. I think because women suffer more like physically, because of their periods, maybe that's why they're more like sensitive and like.
You think they'd get used to it though, right?
Yeah, but still like they have to suffer more than us by default, you know. Physically,
That's
at
true.
least.
I'm saying their general threshold. It's
Yeah.
like an MMA fighter.
They do have a higher
He
threshold
gets
for pain.
punched in the face all the time. It's like they're gonna be. It's like yeah, they're getting punched in the face, but they're used to it. You know, it's like if we get punched in the face, we're out.
They're so delicate. It's just funny. It's nice though.
It
You
is
know,
nice.
they always talk about childbirth and shit,
Mhm.
Yeah.
and they're always like, especially the ones that never had kids. They always like, oh, you know, childbirth is like mad painful, so we're better than you in every way. But I found out like your body when you're under that like state, it releases like this whole slew of chemicals, so you don't like feel anything. It's like, oh man, of course I could do that. It's like I'd be able to do that too. Just like give
But
me
it
them,
still hurts a lot,
Give me
doesn't
them
it?
chemicals, probably not
the
as
brain,
much.
the brain does not release like enough like anti-pain. Like
Oh, I guess you were there for that. I'm just,
yeah,
I'm just talking.
I
as
was in the room, buddy. Like I saw it
a
go
dick
down.
holder.
I can't believe you saw that.
Yeah, it was fucking.
You saw like first person.
Saw it
shooter,
all,
dude?
man. I was
Oh,
right there.
man.
How could you?
You gotta be there, dude.
You don't gotta like look. You know, you're like you could just like hold her hand, look at her
It's
face.
true.
You're beautiful, honey.
I mean, I caught a glimpse of it.
I saw. I've seen a video of that.
I seen it too. That shit was like disgusting. You know what I mean?
It's like.
It's like,
fucking
this is the
crazy.
best like anti-pregnancy video. Ever. Like,
This will happen to
You
you.
got me.
A monster will come out of your pussy.
That shit, I feel like they purposely showed it. This was in school. I feel like they purposely showed us the nastiest like one. It felt like a
Yeah.
horror movie.
It
like,
is. It's
There was like an explosion and shit.
there's like whatchamacallit?
all these fluids.
I forget. I've read it in a couple of places.
Is everything okay?
Yeah. Hold on one second. Let me just explain this real quick too.
It was like on the level, you know, like that scene in Raiders where the dude's face melts off
In Raiders?
of the Lost Ark. Is it real? The Indiana Jones movie.
I haven't seen it, but okay.
If you see it's like I felt like it was on that level of like intensity. It was a bit much.
What were we talking about right before what you just said?
Your relationship.
And right after that was what?
Birth.
Oh yeah, birth. Yeah.
1 second. I have something to say about that.
About
As
the
soon as-
disgustingness of birth. I want to ask you something about that, but I feel like maybe it's like offensive to ask you that.
All right, you can. After I say this, you can ask your question. I can choose whether or not I want to answer it. And like I've read in a few different places where they talk about like birth as a trauma,
Oh shit.
birth as a traumatic experience for child and mother.
Really?
Yeah, I
Oh,
mean,
to
think
kinda, like
about
bring
it.
them together.
Well, it's just such a violent
disgusting,
harrowing act. You know, it is.
It is amazing though. Yeah.
It is, of course. You know, it is, and it like really boggles the mind in some ways. But it is like painful for mother and child, frightening for mother and child. Mm-hmm. You know, there's a lot of like negative emotion that's undeniably like connected with the act of
the
being
baby's
born.
probably like, what the fuck?
Baby is getting crushed in the birth canal, you know, like getting shit out basically.
He sees the world for the first time.
Yeah,
like,
and it's just
this?
It's a, you know, imagine that. It's like the worst
like
trip
they
ever.
know what's going on?
What?
You don't know what's going on. Do you remember that shit?
No,
it doesn't matter.
It was
man.
repressed. That's why.
Yeah, so like, that's the question. Like, I wonder, like, how aware is the baby is definitely conscious, right? In some way, right?
It can't see far. It has blurry vision. It's all caked up with, you know, all kinds of uterine fluids.
Maybe
and
it's just
stuff
maybe it's like
maybe
it just feels like physical discomfort a bit.
A bit, dude.
Yeah.
It's fucking being born. Like, its
been
skin.
born. It's been born.
Its skin has never touched air. Air has never touched
you think
its
it's like
body.
burning, like some like hellspawn. Sprouts wings and flies away.
It's definitely a disturbing thing.
It is. It's rough on the fucking baby, man. It's rough on the mother. It's rough on the baby.
That'd be a good opening scene for like a horror movie where they're like having a very traumatic childbirth and the baby.
For our next release, we should have like the audio
of someone being born,
and then and then you get to and then the screaming gets more like intense, and then it gets more demonic, and then like people are screaming.
But yeah, I wonder like
I like it.
I'm gonna write that down.
It's recorded.
I wonder like when the baby pulls like coming out of the vagina, like how painful is it to like pop out of there? Obviously, it's really painful for the woman, but
I have to interview babies.
Okay.
How would you rate your experience?
Maybe they just like feel the pain and discomfort or like whatever they're feeling, but they don't. Maybe they're like, isn't known if babies have thoughts like hey, whatever they would call it's sunny or something. Like,
no, there's no concept.
Yeah, we gotta lay out the groundwork.
It's just like I think it's pretty much just like
they're just a dumb sponge at that
sensory input. Yeah.
No, but is that known for a fact?
I think it's got to be pretty close to a fact.
Like,
right?
they don't have like the thoughts that's like close to being known. You mean?
No.
So you think they don't have any thoughts?
They don't have any thoughts.
I think they're just like a wet sponge, and it's like they won't have like real thoughts for a while. Yeah. It's like they're kind of, you know, like when you're and you're kind of like in the now. They're just kind of like constantly experiencing. They don't have time to kind of like
reflect.
Yeah, because they have no concept of reflection
or time really.
Yeah,
I wonder. Anyway,
they have no concept of anything. So the first like year and shit, they're just trying to figure out like what the fuck is happening. You know, like through like repetition patterns. You know, like seeing things. Eventually, things are gonna like sort themselves out in your brain.
Yeah.
You lay out that groundwork, and then it's like you can start to have like thoughts, and then you can start to figure out language and all that shit. So that's why I mean like I don't want to kill babies, but I feel like they don't, they're not like fully like
developed.
Yeah, I mean they're obviously not fully developed, but you know they're not fully there yet when they're born.
Like you were saying about the like sort themselves out in their brains, like that physically has to happen.
Yeah.
Like the brain just like needs to like download the drivers.
Yeah, there's like pre-built OS obviously, but it's like as parents you're exposing them to new software all the time, you know.
I love these computer analogies.
I wasn't gonna ask, you don't have to answer, but is your wife's vagina okay after that? Is it still just as good or is it different?
I'm gonna not answer.
Really? Oh. Okay.
That's a good answer.
Yeah. So there's no difference.
That kind of answered it.
No comment.
Okay.
Leave it up to our imagination.
No, that's all right.
Yeah, but that's good. I think that's I always wondered that. Yeah.
I've heard like conflicting reports, and I guess it depends on the woman.
You know,
but I think most of the time it gets back to normal like fairly.
Yeah,
like that shit's like durable.
Yeah, I can take a beating.
You should make material out of that.
I love when you say I've learned your one eyebrow went up slightly.
Women can get like destroyed. Maybe not all of them, I guess, but
the kind I like.
Yeah.
The destroyed ones.
I feel like I like some girls at first I thought like, you know, like pussies feel very different like each one, but then like I started to feel like they kind of all started just like
feeling the same.
Yeah.
All your pussies blended together.
Blended in together. Like, blended together.
Got that pussy blend. Big pussy. I know what you mean. I think the first few were like magical, and they all had like their own like little like you notice the little differences.
Personality?
Yeah, the pussy personality. Then after a bit, they kind of just like, I'm like, yeah, this is about right. You know? Like, of course it feels like this, you know?
Mm-hmm.
This is the way it is.
Have you seen Moesha recently?
I saw her yesterday.
Did you do anything?
No, but I did on it last Sunday.
Oh, you did?
Remember I was talking about like going to the place to get like some oregano for the pizza party I wanted to have?
Alright.
And I ended up not going, but I was like, I'm having a pizza party anyway. And then so I like hit her up and I was like, hey, it's like, are you going to like your friend's house that is like right by my house? And then she's like, maybe, why? And I was like, oh, if you want to hang out for a bit, I totally went in. I didn't even like it wasn't even her this time. It was me.
It's all you.
I was like, fuck it.
Oh
I was like, I need it.
Did she say yes?
She was just down.
Yeah, she's always down.
Which
makes me feel even worse. It's like, there's no struggle. It's like, this is terrible. It makes me not want to do it. She would have said no. I would have been like, oh, thank God. I would have felt a little bad. But it's like, I think at the end, I would have felt better.
She is single, right?
Yeah.
Oh.
You want her number?
No. I was just thinking, that's really, that's not appropriate either. Well, I do on some level. No, I'm kidding. But I was gonna say because you were kind of, sort of trying to date, right?
No.
You were like on Tinder and stuff, right?
Oh, I thought you said we.
Yeah, you. Yeah.
Yeah, I was looking, but I got rid of Tinder like a while back. I
But
just forever deleted it.
Is she also doing that? Is she also like sort of dating or what?
I don't think so. I think she's just she
That was
says
her
she's
also.
working on herself, which is
Okay.
like terrible
Bullshit.
to hear.
Okay. What do you mean? Why?
Why? Yeah.
Because she should get on with herself. That's how I feel,
What?
Because it's like, I feel like part of it is like her leaving herself single, like, so I can go back in. I have that thought in my head. So it's like, if she were to start going out with somebody, I'd be like, oh, cool. It's like, you don't, like, I'm not in the picture anymore. So that's good, That's how I'm looking at it. I still like, free sex in a sense, but it's like, I'm guilty of that.
Free sex. I was gonna say about Moesha, I think in her case then in a sense, like, she's definitely being honest about that, It's like maybe that she is having like a hard time closing the door, so to speak, as was described.
Closing her legs.
Oh, shit.
Damn.
But how
Fire emoji.
we hate.
Is that too much? Sorry.
That's alright.
No, it's perfect. Okay.
Yeah, that we have a difficult time as human beings, like closing doors, and maybe she has a particular difficulty with that, or maybe she has particular reason to, and so it's like, even if that is related to you, maybe that is that is the area that she needs to work on, and maybe she realizes that like she can't honestly proceed to other things until that's like resolved. Now maybe she's not being perfectly honest about it with herself, but
Do you think she would
to
think
me-
along those lines?
Maybe, there's definitely a possibility.
But yeah, maybe she's like,
It's like her word says one thing, and it's like, I'm going by her word, because it's like,
no,
your word to me is like, that should be the law. It's like, you tell me something, I'm gonna adhere by it, because like, that's all I have. And then it's like, obviously there's pre-built like how I think of you, and then like how I skew your words. But it's like, for her, it's like, I'm taking her words in, because it's like, I've double checked with her words. I'm like, this is what you say you want, right? And she says yeah, so it's like, okay, so it's like, my hands are, like, I'm good, but it's like, deep down, I feel like she's lying to me, so it's like, but she says she's not, so it's hard. It's like, do I trust her, or do I trust what I think I know of her,
Yeah, I wonder that a lot too.
So that's because she says, she's fine with just this, like she doesn't mind it, like she wants it too, and she doesn't want to like find like a strange person to like just get this side off, basically we're basically like friends with benefits at like the moment, plus all like years of baggage from dating, But I was hanging out with her yesterday, and then it's like, the way she was acting, she was fine, but the way she was acting, and I was like, for certain, like we were having like arguments, but not like real arguments, you know, just play arguments with like everyone. But she was, you know, obviously a part of it, and I was like, the way she was reacting was like the base factor that like I still didn't like, you know. I don't know how to like really explain it.
What was she doing?
It was like the core of her arguments like weren't like just, and then she would never like accept like being wrong.
Oh, okay.
If that makes any sense.
Yeah.
And I'm like, it was for like small things, but I'm like, this carries over to just how she acted in all things. This is just like a small display of it. But it's like, I know like this is all of it. Like it's like a recurring like signal that like happens
the
through
disease.
Like, her. Yeah, I guess. We're gonna be that terminal. But yeah, so that was like still there, and I was like, bitch, you didn't change. Because she kept saying like, not that like I've changed, take me back, but she says like I've changed as like a person through like X and Y and Z and blah blah blah, you know. And I interpret that as like I've changed, I'm better now, you know. Let's redo this thing.
Mm-hmm.
That's how I take it.
Maybe that's your hang up.
Yeah, maybe I think I'm hot shit, and then well, I have like insider knowledge.
No, I'm totally I'm full of shit right there. I know. I don't even need to know.
No, it's fine. You're allowed to.
You gotta speculate.
You have to.
Yeah.
Have you noticed like most people don't change, right? Or you're right? Is that fair to say or no?
I think they do.
But well, they change like as they get older, like naturally. But I'm saying when they want to change something like really deep rooted, that's bad about them.
I think
what I mean.
Yeah, people don't do that a lot.
I feel like you can do it, but it just takes time. It's not like something like 3 months later. You know, Goku went away for like 3 years, you know, to train, and
guys
came back.
If you're listening, remember this: Goku trained for 3 years.
Yeah, 3 fucking years. He always just take 1 year segments. They took it to 3 years.
He kept dying
segment.
too, and like having to go through snake way to come back to life.
Yeah.
That's a weird way to come back to life.
Yeah. That shit was long though.
Yeah. And there was I'm talking like 25 episodes for him to go like a block.
That was crazy.
And then in the future, he just fucking wings it. He's like, I'm just gonna pop in.
Does he do it? He just like phases through dimensions.
I think so.
By what?
I think because he's dead at some point.
Right.
Yeah, things get so confusing. I don't even know what the hell happens.
I want to watch the new one, but I haven't.
Yeah.
It's not that bad.
I hear great things from
The with the blue
kids.
hair.
Yeah.
You know what it is? It's like kind of bad at first, like animation wise, and like, cause like there was a movie and then the series kind of like redoes the movie, but it like stretches it out and like I guess kind of like develops it / stretches it out longer.
Develops.
But like the animation's kind of like new. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's like that newer style, which maybe I'm biased, but I don't like too much.
Yeah.
But the animation gets better as like.
They kind of like lock in with a style that looks better.
Yeah.
Oh, that's good to know.
So that's like.
And I'm glad they did that.
Can you watch it I saw a fight that would look pretty cool. But can you watch the whole thing on YouTube or something?
Not YouTube, but I can definitely send you some links.
Or but they have it somewhere on YouTube.
Yeah, you can watch like HD episodes. I was watching like the subbed ones. I wasn't watching the English version, so I think they're still like far behind, pretty far behind. And I don't like some of the English voices. I rather hear like the original like tone and stuff.
Yeah.
That's the same. There was this other Netflix show. It's like a German show, and but they dubbed it with English voices. And I also like having subs because like sometimes I can't hear it and I don't want to like what do they say? What integral part of the story?
Yeah.
And it's like the dubs don't match the subs too, and it's driving me fucking crazy. So I switched to German, and then like I was like, oh yeah, this is better anyway because like I can hear like the tone and like the everything is like original. So it's it's like the tone is enough for me. I don't need to hear the words. I can just read them and hear like the tone, and that sets the mood way better than like some other asshole trying to react like this German guy's fucking lines.
Yeah.
So
I totally
I always
agree.
prefer that. Except kung fu movies, I think they do like a decent job.
That's part of the
mystique.
Yeah, it's part of the design. But yeah, I agree with the subtitles.
I think it's time to run.
Or meditate. What do you want to do?
Yeah.
Meditate or run?
Meditate first.
Is that what we've been doing? Or
No, we were running first, and then meditating, then eating. But then we threw podcasts in the mix.
All right. Well, we were talking anyway. So we'll run then.
Wait, why don't we meditate and then run and then go eat? Or no?
I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
I'm okay with switching things up.
All right.
That's why I was saying we threw meditation in the mix. I'm like, why not fuck shit up?
All right.
You want to should we leave the podcast running for 20 minutes?
As
So-
we meditate, so
so
we have the ambient
viewers,
sound.
the viewers can meditate with us.
Yeah, that's right.
It's like
I guess, but I'll pause it just to. I'm afraid of like
going for too long.